You know, guys, every time when I say this country is being invaded, this is exactly what I'm talking about.
These are the new voters for ANC, EFF, and DA. They have now given this old man a SA born ID.
And guys, look at how ridiculous this thing is. Say name. I don't know how to pronounce this name. I don't know is Quintero or Bonfin. I don't want to say these words, guys. I don't want to end up insulting you. And the country of birth, it says Sao Tome, but this is our identity card. This is our ID. And this is what our ID has been reduced to.
You can see it says SA citizen, country of birth, though it says Sao Tome. And then he has voted before. You can see how many times the guy have been voting in South Africa. So about many times the guy. And then
And these people voting, this is why I'm saying that they are replacing South African voters. The fact that somebody with an ridiculous ID like this actually voted, it tells you that they are replacing South African voters. The ANC understands that the people of this country are sick and tired of them. And unfortunately, we now have other political parties that are looking at this matter and trying to take advantage of it too. But it is said that this is what our country has actually been reduced to.
SA born ID. You can see it says SA citizen, country of birth, though it says Sao Tome. And then he has voted before. You can see.
Yeah, this is a record of voting.
How many times the guy have been voting in South Africa. So about Utendo Chitando, they are not starting now. They have been there. So what actually is our politicians are doing? They are now importing new voters in the name of naturalization. Yes. ANC, EFF, and DA, they don't own South Africa. This land doesn't belong to them. We should not give politicians the power to determine who is a South African, who is not a South African. As you can see, South Africans, at the back of the ID, it says 0, there by 0, at the end, the third 0 from the third number from the ending. 0 is for a South African born, and then 1 is for non-South African. If a person is a refugee or an asylum and they are now permanent residents in South Africa, they got a similar ID, but the ID doesn't have pages in between. It's an empty, it's like a cardboard. And then it has 288 or 2 something. So we should not be played by politicians and home affairs. So this guy, he has been enabling the people that we want to remove from power. But now they are here to enable them and give them votes. So we must honestly challenge and change the way things are being done in South Africa. Politicians cannot determine who is a South African and who is not. This one, they should have just given him a non-citizen. But because of criminals in home affairs, they have given him a SA born ID, whereas it's written here, country of birth, Sao Tome.
I mean, like, these people are ridiculous, man.
Whereas the very same ID at the end, it is self-explanatory. For SA citizen and non-SA citizen. Which determines which one and which one is which one.
I mean, guys, this is what is happening, man. This is what is happening. That's why every time when I listen to some of the comrades of the ANC speaking about this issue of illegal immigration, I don't take them seriously, because the ANC, the only thing that they can offer is lip service. They are not going to implement any of the things that they are talking about, but they are going to give you lip service. So now we have the president of the ANC Youth League, Colin Malachi, the same guy that has been acting like he hates this issue of illegal immigration. But somehow Colin Malachi decided to attack Operation Dudula. And these are the reasons why he has actually decided to attack Operation Dudula. This guy comes from a political party that is responsible for the mess that we are seeing in our borders. And he thinks that it is enough for him to go around and saying that we don't want illegal immigrants in this country. But as soon as South Africans stand up and try to do something, he's out on the podcast to attack the same South Africans that he pretended to be on the side of.
Do you agree with Dudula movement?
Dudula movement is anarchy. Let's start there first. We're a law-abiding country with a constitution.
If we were a law-abiding country, we wouldn't be dealing with these things that we are dealing with today. We wouldn't. The reason why today you see people standing up for themselves is because the so-called people, the so-called politicians that are supposed to enforce the law, the president and his cabinet, and those stooges there, they are not doing anything about the situation. And at the end of the day, this country does not belong to any political party. This country belongs to the people of this country. So it is them that can actually determine what happens with the country, not the politicians. The politicians are going to tell us about the law and order. You tell us about the law and order while people are dying on the ground. And it is understandable why you would sit there comfortably say all of these things, because you don't experience what other South Africans are experiencing. That's why every time when I see these people calling the likes of Operation Dudula and other South Africans, because this is not something that is being engaged by only by Operation Dudula. Even South Africans are starting to say, but guys, what is happening in our country, it is not okay. But according to Colin Malachi, I guess we have to wait for the ANC to apply the law and order in this country. This country does not belong to any politicians. It is our country as the people of this country. It is our country.
Do you agree with Dudula movement?
Dudula movement is anarchy. Let's start there first. We're a law-abiding country with a constitution. And we subscribe to human rights commissions. And you can't block women from giving birth. It's not their problem that they're in the country, and it's not their problem. Their problem is the border control. Their problems is the law enforcement in the country. But
I mean, if I was David Mashabela, I would have just interjected and asked him, what does the Constitution say about the people that are getting in this country illegally? And this Constitution that you guys love so much, what does it say about the taxpayers of this country being put down and being forced to pay for things that they obviously do not want to pay for? I'm sure if we can have a referendum today, you are asking South Africans a very simple question. Do you want your tax money to pay for the shelter, security, and healthcare of illegal foreigners? I'm sure a majority of South Africans will say, no, I don't want to pay for the people that are in this country illegally. These people have already committed a crime only by being in this country. So if you are going to tell us about the Constitution, what does the Constitution say about illegal immigration? And I think this is where the conversation needs to start. Because this is the same argument that was made by the EFF, that no, we have the Constitution, without actually telling South Africans what does the Constitution say. Because the Constitution talks about our limited resources. It talks about our limited resources, but this is a line that they like throwing around. Yeah, we have the Constitution, but they will never tell you what it actually says about this issue, because they know that the same Constitution that they are trying to refer to, it is contradicting them.
Do you agree with Dudula movement?
Dudula movement is anarchy. Let's start there first. We're a law-abiding country with a constitution. And we subscribe to human rights commissions. And you can't block women from giving birth. It's not their problem that they're in the country, and it's not their problem.
And guys, by the way, I do not subscribe to the South African Human Rights Commission. I do not subscribe to that commission that is led by a bunch of foreigners. I don't. The South African Human Rights Commission is working against the people of this country. It actually hates the South Africans. And it is a shame that the taxpayers of this country are the ones that are paying for that shame of an institution. it is not representing us as South Africans. They are not executing their mandate to protect the human rights of South Africans, and they have actually made it their mandate to go against the South Africans. So don't tell us about the human rights commissions. We do not have any human rights commissions in this country. And the sooner South Africans actually see that they are on their own, the sooner they realize that they are on their own, the better.
Do you agree with the Dudula movement?
Dudula movement is anarchy. Let's start there first. We're a law-abiding country with a constitution, and we subscribe to human rights commissions. And you can't block women from giving birth. It's not their problem that they're in the country, and it's not their problem. Their problem is the border control. Their problems is the law enforcement in the country. But you can say a woman, that Dudula, because it's full of cowards. It does not target where there's dominance of a problem. I'm saying you'll never find them, but they're fighting with to clean Hillbrow of drug laws and all of those things. They're targeting the most vulnerable.
I mean, this is a very stupid argument, because when you are talking about places like Hillbrow, you speak about the place that actually needs a lot of resources. And essentially, that is the job of the state. And if you are the ANC member, you're going to sit there and say that there is a problem in Hillbrow, they are selling the drugs in Hillbrow. What does it say about the African National Congress that you represent? What does it say about the very same president that you are advocating for? You know that there are drugs in Hillbrow. You know that there are hardened criminals there. And it's going to need a lot of resources to actually fight what is happening in Hillbrow. And saying that, no, Operation Dudula, they are cowards because they are not going to Hillbrow, but they are going to the clinics. Operation Dudula is operating in their small communities. They do not have the resources that the government has. But to even try to make this an argument, I don't understand. I don't understand. Like, guys, this is the president of the ANC Youth League. Maybe in 20 years, this guy will be the president of the African National Congress. And this is how he thinks. I find it very strange that in this country, man, we have a lot of politicians. They cannot think further than their noses. How can you compare what is happening in the townships and in small clinics and hospitals to what is happening in Hillbrow? Why is the ANC not doing anything about the situation in Hillbrow? Because you are admitting that under the ANC government, there are people that are selling the drugs in Hillbrow. This is what you are admitting to. This is what you are admitting to. So he is admitting that under his own ANC's government, they are selling the drugs in Hillbrow, and nothing has been done about that because they want to see if Operation Dudula can do something about that. Them, as the government, they are not going to do anything about that.
They're targeting women, they're targeting children. Because if you close
sick people
and sick people, I'm saying those people, that's what I'm saying, Dudula is a group of cowards. Because if they are serious about that revolution, they must go and assist us to clean Hillbrow. Yeoville.
You are not cleaning Hillbrow, you are not cleaning Yeoville.
They must go there. That's what the problem is at. Because those are the people that are illegal in the country who are selling drugs to people who have checked buildings. Those are the people that...
And again, it is a stupid argument because even if Operation Dudula, maybe let's say, for an example, let's say Operation Dudula had minimum resources to actually go into Hillbrow to try to fight what is happening in Hillbrow. What is the ANC doing about the borders? And what has the ANC done about the borders since 1994? Guys, I honestly do not think that I can be able to do the interviews with these politicians, man. I don't think we will actually get past the first question. I think I will ask one question and a politician will try to answer, and that is when we're going to fight. I don't think so, man. I don't think I can actually sit with a politician and look him in the eye telling me that Operation Dudula are a bunch of cowards because they are not fighting the drugs that are being sold in Hillbrow. When you are the ANC, when you have been in charge of this country for the past 30 years, The fact that you can sit there and admit that they are selling drugs in Hillbrow, in Yeovil, it says everything that you need to know. So it goes back to the failure of the ANC to protect in this country. Now we have these stooges of the ANC going around and saying nonsense like this. We have to be subjected to this nonsense. Guys, it is Saturday, man. I'm supposed to be out and having fun with my friends. But I'm here listening to this nonsense.
They must talk about. But how does a pregnant woman become dangerous to you? To a point we block them. A child died.
The argument is that they're taking a resource from a South African.
No. It's not the problem of a person who's in the country. It's a problem of government. I'm saying if you've opened your borders up, you've allowed Home Affairs to be corrupt, you've allowed...
No, man, no. Don't say if you have allowed the borders to be open. Say the ANC has allowed the borders to be open and the Home Affairs to be corrupt. And now...
people that they must talk about. But
I want you to hear this.
How does a pregnant woman become dangerous to you? To a point we block them. A child died.
The argument is that they're taking a resource from a South African.
No. It's not the problem of a person.
The argument is that they are taking the resources from South Africans. Guys, when will these people that are enjoying the private health care actually understand that it is not a narrative, it is not something that is being said for the fun of being said. It is something that is happening literally on the ground. You remember that lady of the EFF when those senior citizens were telling her that we are being cut every day. We are being cut every day because the queues are so long. And at the end of the day, it is unfair because we are South Africans. We are supposed to be prioritized in our own country. But for us to be treated as second-class citizens in our own country, it is unacceptable. But they were telling her, I don't want it to be phrased as if it is something that is being said or a narrative or... No, it is a fact. It is a fact that the queues are long. People are being cut. And how many people are dying as a result of that? How many South Africans are dying as a result of that? So it is not just a narrative that is being spewed out. It is not.
Who's in the country. It's a problem of government. I'm saying if you've opened your borders up, you've allowed Home Affairs to be corrupt, you've allowed corruption to happen everywhere, you don't enforce law in this country. You can't blame a person who's running away from their problems in the country looking for a better... Human beings want to survive.
True.
They are animals. I can go to a school as one of the youth league. We're blocking a school here. No learner must enter if he's a Zimbabwean. That is not being African. That is not being human. Because you're abusing an innocent person. Because that 7-year-old is an innocent person. Now, deal with the real problem.
I don't think, Colin Malaj, you guys, I'm going to play this video again because I have interrupted it a lot of times. I don't think Colin Malaj actually realizes what he's essentially saying about the ANC. I don't think he does. That's how short-sighted he is. Because if you're going to say that these people are coming from their countries and they are running from their problems, you have the ANC that is friends with ZANU-PF. And the ANC, they have never sat down with the ZANU-PF and speak about this issue of immigration. And how this issue of immigration has actually become a problem to the lives of the people of this country. So even those people having their problems, the ANC in charge, they have actually failed to do anything. If anything, they are shaking hands and hugging and kissing each other. Instead, they are kissing the leaders of Zimbabwe. Ramaphosa was praising them about their agriculture and telling them how amazing they are. And telling the Zimbabweans there that we want to be like Zimbabwe. This is what Ramaphosa essentially said. So I don't understand when I don't think when this person actually speaks, I don't think he understands what he says. I don't think he understands what he says, and he is so short-sighted that almost everything that he says, it is ridiculous. That is how short-sighted he is.
Do you agree with Dudula movement?
Dudula movement is anarchy. Let's start there first. We're a law-abiding country with a constitution. And we subscribe to human rights commissions. And you can't block women from giving birth. It's not their problem. that they're in the country, and it's not their problem. Their problem is the border control. Their problems is the law enforcement in the country. But you can say a woman, that Dudula, because it's full of cowards, it does not target where there's dominance of a problem. I'm saying you'll never find them, but they're fighting with to clean Hillbrow of drug laws and all of those things. They're targeting the most vulnerable. They're targeting women. They're targeting children. Because if you close
sick people
and sick people, I'm saying those people. That's what I'm saying. Dudula is a group of cowards. Because if they are serious about that revolution, they must go and assist us to clean Hillbrow, Yeovil, they must go there. That's what the problem is at. Because those are the people that are illegal in the country, who are selling drugs to people who have checked buildings. Those are the people that they must talk about. But how does a pregnant woman become dangerous to you? To a point we block them. A child died.
The argument is that they're taking a resource from a South African.
No. It's not the problem of a person who's in the country. It's a problem of government. I'm saying if you've opened your borders up, you've allowed Home Affairs to be corrupt, you've allowed corruption to happen everywhere, you don't enforce law in this country. You can't blame a person who's running away from their problems in the country looking for a better. Human beings want to survive.
True.
We are animals. I can go to a school as one of the youth league. We're blocking a school here. No learner must enter if he's a Zimbabwean. That is not being African. That is not being human. Because you are abusing an innocent person. Because that 7-year-old is an innocent person. Now, deal with the real problem. The real problem is the border control, is law enforcement.
And who has actually failed to deal with the border control and the law enforcement. So guys, I want you to actually pay attention to something. You see the demeanor in which these people are having the conversation. Just look at how relaxed they are talking about this issue that is a huge deal to South Africans. But of course, to them, it is just a regular conversation because it is not something that they can actually relate with. They cannot relate with it, unfortunately. They cannot relate with it. And it's not like I am bashing the people that are on private healthcare. It is a good thing. If you have enough money, go on private healthcare. I wouldn't advise anybody to stick with the public healthcare when they have enough money to go on healthcare. But sometimes when you are on private healthcare and when you have these kind of conversations, you need to have some sort of self-awareness, man. You need to be aware of how things are affecting the people. You need to be aware of how things are affecting you. And this is what I'm trying to do every time. And I'm bashed for this every day. I remember when we were debating that issue of kill the boer, kill the farmer. I said that, guys, as much as the Constitution said, the Constitutional Court said that there is nothing wrong with killing the boer, kill the farmer. But how would you feel as black people if the Afrikaners would start singing, kill black people, kill the darkies? How would you feel? People would lose their minds. So why are you comfortable doing something to somebody that you don't want to be done to you? Why are you treating people how you don't want to be treated? I mean, even the word of God says that we must treat people how we want to be treated. If you don't want people to be horrible towards you, then you need to stop being a horrible person towards other people. And this is something that South Africans do not understand. They think that they can be hateful, they can say everything to everybody just because we have a painful past, and everything it is justified because we have a painful past. But you are not realizing that you are actually becoming exactly what you hate. You are becoming what you hate. So when people have these kind of conversations, man, sometimes it's better to actually always have somebody that is on the ground so that they can explain to you how things are on the ground. I mean, you see how relaxed these people are. Here, this is how South Africans on the ground are actually feeling. We put you in this seat. You are now living in the suburbs. And we live in the townships. And you are telling us to live with the foreigners.
You are killing our own black brothers, whereas
you are killing our own brothers, whereas you are living in the suburbs comfortably. You are living in the Rosebank and other better places. And that is because of our votes. You forget that we are the ones that have voted.
Enough is enough. Ngifuna nimtshele nomalema nale
I want you to tell
ukuthi nibekwe yithi ayidulweni. Enough is enough. Ngifuna nimtshele nomalema nale lima zakhe zaseZimbabwe ukuthi they must bring it on.
I want you to tell Malema and his idiotic Zimbabweans that they must bring it on.
We are ready for the war. Enough is enough. We are going to fight for this country. We are sick and tired. Skathele yini. Sikathele.
We are sick and tired of you. We are tired.
Sizwile. Nihleli kamnandi.
You are living nice. We've had enough. You are living nice.
Emnothweni nihamba ngeimoto ezinhle.
You are driving nice cars.
Ngizobona. Idlele mali nidlele icede kumanje. Enatal beseniqalile ntshontshe igroza ngamaveni. Nifuna
And you guys are stealing the money. Even in KZN, we heard that you guys are stealing the groceries that are meant for poor people. And this is how shameful these ANC people are, man. I remember the story that once came out that some ANC cadres actually stole the blankets and the groceries that were meant for the victims of the floods in KZN. This is how shameful, this is how disgraceful these people are. Absolutely unbelievable, man.
thatha le mali ayidonethile. Enough is enough. Sizwile yini.
We've had enough.
Amandla.
This is how people are feeling, guys. If you actually want to know how South Africans are feeling on the ground, this is how South Africans are feeling on the ground. While the elites are having these comfortable conversations, while they are sitting there and telling South Africans that they are a bunch of cowards and idiots for doing what they are doing.
Human Rights Commission.
Yeah. This is how South Africans are actually feeling. This is how they are feeling. This lady is an embodiment of how we as South Africans are feeling right now. We are livid with rage, man. We are fed up. We are absolutely fed up as South Africans. And I remember there's an article that I once bookmarked. I'm happy that I came across this article, and it talks about the Minister of Health. And this article is, it's how many years? I think it's like 6 years old. It was released in 2018, and it talks about the Minister of Health, Aaron Motsoaledi, has been lashed for saying illegals are burdening the healthcare system. I think this is the reason why the tone has actually changed surrounding this issue, because they don't want to be criticized by organizations like the Amnesty International. So this article says that Amnesty International and the Public Sector's Office have lashed at Health Minister Dr. Aaron Motsoaledi over his statements that illegal and undocumented immigrants are putting an impossible burden on South Africa's health system. Quote, "It has nothing to do with xenophobia. When more and more come, they have to be admitted, and when they get admitted in large numbers, they cause overcrowding, infection, and infection control starts failing." Deputy Public Protector Kevin Malunga has lashed out at Aaron Motsoaledi. Malunga. Guys, so do we have a Malunga in South Africa? Do we have a Malunga in South Africa? Malunga? No, I don't think so. So the Deputy Public Protector Kevin Malunga has lashed out at Motsoaledi for a statement he made saying foreign nationals were burdening the South Africa's healthcare system. The Times reports that Malunga was responding to Motsoaledi's comment made at the recent National Education, Health and Allied Workers Union. It was reported that Motsoaledi said more hospitals and clinics were needed to accommodate all the locals and foreign patients. Motsoaledi said South Africa needed to relook at its immigration policies to control the number of undocumented and illegal immigrants in the country. I mean, this idea of building more hospitals and more clinics, it is a nonsensical idea. It is a rubbish idea. I remember a couple of months ago, Aaron Motsoaledi was on television and he was trying to justify why the government must build six more hospitals. Why must the government build more hospitals when we have the public hospitals that are big enough? They just need to be maintained. And if these people can actually be serious about controlling what is happening in the borders, we wouldn't be dealing with a lot of nonsense. But now they are saying that, okay, now that we have opened our borders, how do we deal with this? Let's build more clinics and more hospitals. And who is paying for these buildings of the clinics and hospitals? You, as the taxpayers of this country. So are these people actually telling us that South Africa, if it happens that the whole continent comes to South Africa, these people are going to build the hospitals and clinics for everybody? It is unsustainable. It does not make any sense. And it is unreasonable. That's why we say, to curb this issue to start with, you have to close the borders. You have to close down the borders. But they are talking about building more. Quote, the weight that foreign nationals are bringing to the country has got nothing to do with xenophobia. It is a reality. Our hospitals are full. We can't control them. When a woman is pregnant and about to deliver a baby, you can't turn her away from the hospital and say you are a foreign national. You can't. And when they deliver a premature baby, you have to keep them in hospital. When more and more come, you can't say the hospital is full now, go away. They have to be admitted. We have no option. And when they get admitted in large numbers, they cause overcrowding, infection, and infection control starts failing. In a tweet, Malunga said this was a desperate statement by Motsoaledi to address the systemic issues in the health department. The report says Amnesty International also took issue with Motsoaledi's statement. Executive Director of Amnesty International South Africa, Shelina Mohammed, said Motsoaledi should stop this shameless scapegoating of foreigners and migrants. Quote, he has been in charge of the health department for almost a decade and should have been fully aware of the challenges faced by the public healthcare sector, including the need for more investment to address the health needs of the growing population. He has failed to make adequate decisions. So he's talking about pumping more money. This thing that I've just criticized, the executive there of the Amnesty International is saying that no, we should have more funding into this. He is now blaming the refugees and migrants to abdicate his responsibility. Minister Motsoaledi should stop fueling xenophobia with these unfounded remarks and take urgent steps to improve access to affordable and quality healthcare for all people living in South Africa. Amnesty International said South Africa had ratified several international and regional human rights instrumentals that are required the government to respect. So these people actually came hard at Ahmed Motsoaledi, and I think this is the reason why Ahmed Motsoaledi has been kind of soft, man, especially when it comes to this issue. And it shows that as a leader, he's actually a coward. He's actually a coward. Guys, you remember that 2 weeks ago, this article actually came out. This article came out where the Minister of Finance is talking about this issue, and it says that Godongwana questions affordability of metros providing free healthcare to undocumented foreign nationals, to illegal immigrants. The Finance Minister Inoko Godongwana has questioned the affordability of metros continuing to provide free healthcare services to undocumented nationals, saying the Constitution has put the country in a difficult position. Addressing the mayors of metropolitan municipalities on Monday to discuss new reforms aimed at improving the management of utility services, Godongwana acknowledged the frustrations expressed by some mayors regarding the strain that unplanned population growth is having on their cities. Godongwana said the thorny issue of immigration is one that requires an objective debate by political parties and not from position of xenophobia. Godongwana says it is estimated that for every 100 people who enter South Africa, at least half of them remain in Gauteng. This does not include the impact of urbanization as people from different parts of the country in a search of a better life. Godongwana said he's sympathetic to municipalities that can't legally deny services such as healthcare to foreign nationals. So, quote, the Constitution says South Africa belongs to all those who live in it, which was a grave mistake. So even the Minister of Health, he knows that it is unsustainable, man. It is unsustainable, and he is feeling for the mayors that, guys, I'm sorry that you have to deal with this. I'm sorry that we have to deal with this, but that quote from our constitution that this country belongs to everybody that lives in it, it was a grave mistake. It was never supposed to be like that. It was never supposed to be like that. But that alone, it is not enough, because the constitution also talks about the limited resources. So there's another article, guys, that I want us to go through very quickly. And it says that Action SA blames lack of foreign patients tracking for unmanaged demands on public healthcare system. This one, guys, it is absolutely ridiculous, man. Listen to this. Minister of Health Dr. Aaron Motsoaledi revealed in a parliamentary reply to Action SA that the health department does not track the number of documented or undocumented foreign nationals who access public healthcare facilities, adding to Action SA's long-standing beliefs that this burdens South Africa's healthcare system. So just listen to this admission. The Motsoaledi revealed in a parliamentary reply to Action SA that the health department does not track the number of documented or undocumented foreign nationals who access public healthcare facilities. So even the people from the government, they think that the money comes from the sky. The politicians actually think that the money comes from the sky. Because if they actually respected the taxpayers of this country, there's absolutely no way that they would be at a situation and where they can even admit that we don't even care how many people are coming here. We just know that we are treating a lot of people. We don't care. So Motsoaledi further pointed out that while patients were requested to present proof of ID, services were not withheld from them if they were unable to do so. Further, healthcare facilities did not record individuals according to nationality. Why? Quote, it must be realized that on the African continent as a whole, the issue of civil registration and vital statistics is something that has just started in earliest recently, and the whole continent is lagging behind. At the present moment, the country with the highest civil registration is Egypt, or at 98%. The second highest is South Africa. This means that 11% of South Africans are also undocumented, but cannot said to be illegal in their own country. Some countries on this continent are still between 1% and 5% registered. This is what Motsoaledi says. Action SA said this validated its concern that without appropriate data collection, the department could not account for any services liabilities. Quote, this admission validates our long-standing concern that South Africa's public healthcare system is burdened by an unqualified and unmanaged demand. We believe that this is particularly concerning given that millions of foreign nationals, many of whom are undocumented or lack any form of medical insurance, reasonably make use of taxpayer-funded healthcare services. The minister defended the lack of tracking by pointing out that the right to healthcare was enshrined in Section 27 of the Constitution for the citizens and non-citizens, and that healthcare was provided based on clinical need, not on nationality or documentation status. So now you can literally see Aaron Motsoaledi going from saying that the illegals are burdening our healthcare system to now trying to justify why we should continue to give healthcare to these illegal foreigners. So Aaron Motsoaledi, these people, the Amnesty International and these organizations, they have actually made him bend backwards, which is shameful. It is absolutely shameful that we have a bunch of weak people that they call themselves leaders, man. It is shameful. It is shameful. Guys, what are your thoughts, man? What are your thoughts? Please tell me what you think on the comment section. Don't forget to hit the like button. And the most important part, my name is Thomas Mabasa. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.